Alrighty, so the ReZero collab is in full swing, and I wanted to go over the characters from the collab and sort of tell you which ones are worth investing into, because I think that, some of these characters are really good, but, there's obviously, team requirements and stuff like that that you kind of have to meet if you're really going to get your most potential out of them and everything. So if you're pulling for the characters, which ones are good, which ones should you just maybe sit on and not worry about. Yeah, I guess let's just start with the brand new characters. So Reinhardt is a very good, very interesting. I haven't bought his cosmetics yet because we just got done, doing the free-to-play showcase for him. But he's definitely very good. Works on the Bond team the best, of course, or just like the human, like HP team, not necessarily like the Bond team, because I don't think Bond's even like the biggest threat on the team anymore with, characters like Terry and, Reinhardt, of course. But he's very good. New Reinhardt, very, very good. His Holy Relic is great. He does a lot of damage just with his cards in general, which is awesome. And, if you have like really high levels on his ultimate hits really hard. So, if you're running the Bond team, you're using the Bond team and everything like that, you already have it invested into, I would definitely recommend using the character or leveling him up, because you can use him in other stuff as well. I've seen people mess with him on like bird and deer and stuff like that as well, but he's mainly, I would say, a PvP unit. None of the ReZero characters are locked to one game mode, which is great. You can use them in anything, PvE or PvP, so that's obviously a really good thing. But yeah, I would say if you pull the character and you have the Bond team and stuff for it, then I would definitely recommend investing into it. If you don't have like Excalibur Arthur or Twigo powered up or whatever the case may be, if you don't have the full team for it, you could probably try messing around with like an ult rush team if you have high ult levels or whatever. But I don't know, you kind of need the Bond for him, or like the Bond team for him to sort of like show his maximum potential. So I'm not sure if you can really like invest into him and like have a good time if you don't have that kind of thing already ready to go, but definitely a good character. Really like him so far. Echidna is also a very, very interesting character. She's the other new character from the collab. Very good so far. All I've done with her so far is just the free-to-play showcase, but I have bought her cosmetics at this point, and I really like the unit. I'm very surprised with how good she is. Even with like no cosmetics and low ult level and stuff like that, she was doing wonders. Like actually doing really well. So definitely think if you're running the unknown team, she is a huge benefit to the team. I think she's going to be like a key component to a lot of the really good unknown teams going forward. Obviously, there's a lot of different unknown support that you can run with her, whether it be, Festival Merlin, which I don't think people are really using. Summer Merlin, which is a really big one. You can use Emilia. There's all kinds of really good unknown characters to run with her, most of them being from the ReZero collab. So I definitely think if you pull her, I think she's probably the most versatile out of the two new units. Like, you could probably run her on other teams that aren't unknown. Obviously, she really wants to be run with unknown allies and stuff like that, so it kind of would, defeat the point if you were trying to run her with stuff that's not really unknown. But she's a really good unit. Her, Holy Relic makes it to where if you attack debuffed enemies, so if you use her Infect card first and then use the Sever card, it does a lot more damage. Decreases damage taken, makes her a little tankier, which is good, which she does die kind of easily. It only takes a couple of hits for her to really go down. So the Holy Relic, I don't know what it's like without the Holy Relic, but it's free, so definitely grab that. But yeah, still super fantastic unit. Really like using her so far. Actually, probably going to be my favorite unit from the collab in general at this point. Going to the older characters, Emilia is a very interesting one. I think she's getting a little outdated. I haven't made her Holy Relic yet because I haven't got it yet, or I haven't got the materials for it yet because we're still really early in the collab, but her Holy Relic is pretty bad. It's not very useful. She was the initial character that everybody wanted the first time around because her ultimate is a secret technique like Lost Veins, so it does a lot of damage if you have extra cards in hand, and you can get this off at max ultimate level and stuff, which I had mine 4/6 the first time around, and the ultimate does hit really hard, but she's mainly used because she's insanely toxic. She has a dissolve card, so you can put some ult control on them, and you can freeze enemies just straight up with a level 1 card for one turn. which is also really annoying. Plus, her passive makes it to where, you know, if you attack her twice with the same character in one turn, they get frozen, so you get punished for using the same character too much in PvP, which is really annoying. So just altogether, she's super toxic. I have to say, she does have a new cosmetic scent that's out with this collab, and I do have all of the old ones, but I really don't use Emilia a whole lot. I just don't really like her as a character. She doesn't have a whole lot of DPS besides the ult, and all she really does is do lockdown, which is, I feel so bad when I lock characters or like lock the enemy down for like several turns in a row. So it's not fun to me. It just makes me feel bad for them. So I'm personally not a big fan of the Emilia play. If you want to use her though, she is a great support character to have on the unknown team. So can definitely recommend that you invest into her if you're planning on running like an unknown team or like a lockdown team. Preferably, I would say if you're using like Echidna, Summer Merlin, and you know, Emilia, you're going to be able to lock down pretty heavily in any situation that you need to, because you got the attack seal from Merlin. You can freeze if they have an ultimate, or even get rid of a stance with it. You know, it's just, it's so versatile. So I mean, she's very good. Moving on, we have Rime. I really like Rime, but unfortunately, with all of the stuff that she has sort of gained and her Holy Relic being kind of okay, she still just doesn't really do as well as you would want her to in PvP. So I would say if you're looking at it from a strictly PvP standpoint, probably not worth investing into. She has her AoE card decreases ultimate move damage, which is pretty bad, I have to say. It does block ultimate move effects at level 2 and 3, which is kind of okay. But just overall not a super heavy hitting card. The Amplify is great because you can, you know, put buffs on her fairly easily with her passive, but altogether she just ends up being a little lackluster in PvP. She's not able to deal the damage that you need her to as quickly enough as some of the other characters in the meta at the moment. But that being said, she does very well in PvE scenarios. I've seen people use her on the Bird team. I recently made a video with her where I replaced Freyr on the OG team with her, and I mean, she definitely does pretty good if you're running PvE, you know, circumstances where you have time to sort of build up her passives, get those buffs on, sort of, you know, get the ideal situation to make her deal the damage that she needs to. But PvP is very rushed. It's very, you know, circumstantial. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, so unfortunately PvP wise not really worth investing into. But I would say if you're really looking for like a strong like single target attacker, then, you know, PvE stuff is, you know, where she kind of shines. Ram is the next character, and I have to say she's probably one of the better characters from the collab, just because she is a backline support unit. She works in the sub slot, and she basically just increases unknown allies basic stats by 20%, which doesn't sound like too much, but I mean, that's really all it takes to become a little bit more tanky, hit a little bit harder, have more HP. You know, I mean, it helps altogether for the team. Her actual cards and stuff like that aren't great. She does have a stun at level 2, which is fine, but you're not really wanting her to be in the front line, so it doesn't really matter too much what her cards are. The AoE is a rupture card, which I'm not a huge fan of. It always kind of ends up being kind of lackluster. The ultimate is decreases attack related stats by 30% for 3 turns, which is actually pretty decent, but I mean, you know, the odds of you getting this off because she's a backline unit is very slim. And then she kind of got big shafted on her Holy Relic because it increases the attack related stats by 30% when the hero uses a rupture skill. So when you use the AoE, you do get an attack related stats buff, but I mean, her skills in general just don't do too much damage normally. Like if I'm looking for anything, I'm looking for the level 2 Fura, so that way I can get the stun off. So altogether, not a good frontliner, definitely a good backliner for the unknown team. Like it's always a toss-up for me personally whether or not I want to use this character for the basic stats increase, or if I want to use the green base Merlin with her Holy Relic, because she increases damage dealt by unknown race allies and works in the sub slot, on top of her passive giving an extra ultimate move gauge, so it makes it easier to ult rush and stuff. So definitely a good character, definitely worth investing into if you're planning on running the actual unknown team. Solid backliner for the team. Last up we have Beatrice, who is just altogether pretty bad. I have to say she is just I didn't invest into her the first time, and I watched all of these YouTubers throw, you know, tons of wasting materials and all of this stuff for this character, trying to make her look good, or trying to, like, I don't know, clickbait with the videos or whatever the deal was. And she just, it doesn't matter what you put on this woman, she is terrible. I mean, her whole gimmick is, you know, you want to use her to sort of lifesteal and increase, or like just heal your teammates by dealing damage, and it's only for unknown race. But I don't know, she's just not good. I mean, her skills are lifesteal and a despair card, so you know, she has the potential to do a lot of lifesteal, but at the same time, what good is that in a meta where, like, you know, one turn is basically enough to get rid of a single character? So you know, if they just focus on one unit and they're dead, you can't lifesteal that. So I don't know, she's just not good. Her CC is pretty bad. I've seen it at higher levels. Obviously mine's not invested into, but her CC is kind of low. Just overall pretty bad. Her holy relic increases crit chance and crit damage by 80%, so she probably got the best holy relic out of the entire collab, or, like, you know, a holy relic that most other characters in the game would really love to have, but it's not enough. It doesn't help. So I don't know, definitely not worth investing into. This is just from me watching other people's content. So if you have the character invested into and you get, you know, interesting results, definitely let me know. But altogether, this is by far the worst character to have. I'm really surprised they aren't giving this character away for free, and they are actually giving away some decent units for free instead. So big surprise there. But either way, that's basically the collab. Wanted to let you guys know what my thoughts and opinions of each of the characters are, and which ones you should invest into and why, and that's pretty much it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you guys in the next one.